Every king had one. Every empire needed one. Every court employed one. But no one invited him to dinner. No one sat beside him in church. No one gave their daughter to him in marriage. He was the most necessary man in any civilization that ever existed, and the most despised. He carried out the law with his own hand. He ended lives that the state had decided must end. He was present at every execution, every torture, every judicial killing for thousands of years. And history has almost completely erased him. Today, using advanced AI technology, we can bring the shadow figure of the executioner back to life. From the first recorded judicial killings of ancient Mesopotamia to the last functioning guillotine in 20th century France. This is not the history of violence. This is the history of the man the state needed to be violent on its behalf, and what that role did to him, to his family, and to every society that created him. This is the complete story of the executioner. Let's begin. Most people assume execution is a modern legal concept. It is not. The earliest recorded evidence of state-sanctioned killing dates to ancient Mesopotamia, around 2100 BC. The Code of Uarnamu, the oldest surviving legal code in human history, lists offenses punishable by death. Murder, robbery, adultery. The law is written in stone, but someone has to carry it out. In Mesopotamia, that someone is not a specialist. Execution in the earliest civilizations is a communal act. The entire community participates. Stoning, burning, drowning. The collective guilt is shared across everyone present. No single person bears the weight alone. This is deliberate. The state has not yet invented the professional executioner because it has not yet decided it needs one. Egypt changes this. By the time of the New Kingdom, around 1550 BC, Egypt has developed a state apparatus sophisticated enough to require dedicated personnel for judicial killing. Temple records reference officials whose specific function involves the administration of death sentences. They are not celebrated. They are not named in the great inscriptions that cover the temple walls. They exist in the bureaucratic margins, necessary, functional, and deliberately invisible. The pharaoh's justice is divine and perfect. The man who carries it out is neither. Ancient Greece approaches the problem differently. Athens, that supposed cradle of democracy and reason, maintains a public slave called the daimios, literally, one who belongs to the people. He is owned by the state. He lives outside the city walls. He is not permitted to enter the agora, the marketplace at the heart of Athenian civic life. He cannot participate in the democracy whose judgments he enforces. He is the necessary instrument of a society that simultaneously requires his function and refuses to acknowledge his humanity. When Socrates is condemned to death in 399 BC, it is the daimios who prepares and delivers the hemlock. He does this as a matter of professional routine. He has done it before. He will do it again. And Athens will continue to pretend he barely exists. Rome systematizes everything, including this. The Roman carnifex, from the Latin for fleshmaker, occupies a specific and formally degraded position in Roman law. He is legally infamous, a technical legal status that strips a person of full civic right. He cannot vote. He cannot hold office. He cannot give testimony in court. He lives in a designated district outside the city proper, near the execution grounds. His touch is considered polluting. His profession passes from father to son because no one outside the family will hire him for anything else, and no one outside the profession will marry into it. Rome has created a hereditary caste of state killers and simultaneously declared them less than full citizens. The state needs the carnifex desperately. The state also despises him completely. This contradiction will define the executioner's existence for the next 2,000 years. The medieval period inherits Rome's contradiction and amplifies it. In Christian Europe, the executioner occupies a position of profound theological discomfort. The Church teaches that all human life is sacred. The Church also endorses the death penalty for heresy, treason, murder, and a lengthening list of other offenses. Someone must reconcile these two positions in practice. That someone is the executioner. In Germany, he is called the Scharfrichter, the sharp judge. In France, the bourreau. In England, simply the hangman. Across every European culture, the pattern is identical. He is essential. He is feared. He is avoided. He lives at the edge of town. He marks his house with red paint so others know not to enter. His children cannot attend the local school. His wife cannot shop at the market without being shunned. He is, in every practical sense, the most powerful and the most isolated man in any medieval town. But medieval execution is not the simple affair that popular imagination suggests. It is a skilled profession requiring years of training. A botched execution, a failed hanging, a misplaced sword stroke, an incomplete beheading, is a catastrophe. The crowd turns on the executioner. They riot. They throw things. They have been known to tear a clumsy executioner apart. The condemned must die quickly and cleanly. This is not mercy. It is professional pride, public order, and personal survival combined into a single imperative. A master executioner in medieval Europe trains for years. He studies anatomy. He practices on animal carcasses. He learns the precise angle of the sword stroke that severs the head in a single blow. He memorizes the correct knot for a hanging that breaks the neck instantly rather than strangling the condemned over 10 agonizing minutes. He is, whether anyone will admit it, a craftsman. The most famous executioner family in European history is the Sanson dynasty of France. For 6 generations, from 1688 to 1847, a single family holds the position of chief executioner of France. Charles Sanson, his son, his son's son. Generation after generation, inheriting the blade and the isolation and the formal exclusion from normal society that comes with both. The dynasty reaches its most extraordinary moment during the French Revolution. Charles-Henri Sanson, the 4th generation, performs over 2,700 executions between 1792 and 1795. He executes King Louis XVI on January 21, 1793. He executes Marie Antoinette on October 16, 1793. He executes Robespierre, the architect of the Terror, on July 28, 1794. He executes the revolutionaries who sent the king to the guillotine, and then he executes the revolutionaries who sent those revolutionaries to the guillotine. He serves every faction. He outlasts every ideology. He is the one constant in a world that is killing itself. Charles-Henri Sanson is present at more significant deaths than any general, any politician, any priest of his era. He is the most consequential man of the French Revolution that no history book centers. He keeps a journal. He records every execution with professional detachment. He notes the weather. He notes the condition of the blade. He notes whether the condemned died well or badly. He never once records his own feelings, perhaps because feelings were a luxury his profession could not afford. The guillotine itself deserves its own story. It is named after Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotin, who does not invent it and deeply regrets his association with it. Guillotin proposes it in 1789 as a humanitarian reform, a device that will kill quickly and painlessly regardless of the condemned's social class. Before the guillotine, noblemen received the swift sword while commoners suffered the rope or the wheel. Guillotin's machine democratizes death. Everyone dies the same way. Everyone dies instantly. The revolution finds this deeply appealing. The guillotine becomes the symbol of revolutionary equality, which is an extraordinary thing for a killing machine to become. Dr. Guillotin spends the rest of his life trying to have his name removed from the device. He fails. His family eventually changes their surname rather than continue bearing it. The guillotine also changes the executioner's role permanently. Before the machine, execution required skill, strength, and direct personal physical contact with the condemned. The sword stroke, the adjusted noose, the positioned axe. The executioner's hands were the instruments of death. The guillotine removes most of this. The executioner positions the condemned. He releases a lever. The blade falls. The machine does what the man used to do. The executioner becomes a technician rather than a craftsman. Something is lost. Something is also gained. The psychological distance between the man and the death increases. Whether this makes the work more bearable or simply stranger is a question the executioners themselves disagree on. England's most famous executioner is Albert Pierrepoint, who serves from 1932 to 1956. He hangs 435 people. He develops a system so efficient that he can complete an execution, from cell to death, in under 12 seconds. He times himself. He improves his method with each iteration. He is proud of his craft in the way any professional is proud of skilled work. He hangs Nazi war criminals at Nuremberg after World War II. He hangs British murderers in English prisons. He hangs a woman named Ruth Ellis in 1955, the last woman executed in Britain, and her death triggers a national debate that will ultimately end capital punishment in the United Kingdom. After he retires, Pierrepoint writes a memoir. In it, he reaches a conclusion that startles everyone who has followed his career. He says that execution has never deterred a single criminal, that every person he has hanged would have lived had the system been different, that he has wasted his professional life on a procedure that solves nothing. The most efficient hangman in British history spends his retirement arguing against hanging. Japan maintains its executioners in deliberate, carefully constructed anonymity to this day. Japanese death row prisoners are not told in advance when they will be executed. They wake up each morning not knowing if it is their last. The executioner's identity is never revealed. The execution takes place in silence. The family of the condemned is not notified until after death. The entire apparatus is designed to minimize the human presence on both sides. Both the one who kills and the one who is killed are processed through a bureaucratic system so opaque that the personal becomes almost theoretical. Japanese executioners reportedly suffer high rates of psychological distress. They apply for transfers. They take extended sick leave. The state requires their service and also does not want to know what that service costs them. The American executioner faces a different problem in the modern era. Capital punishment in the United States is challenged legally, ethically, and practically on a continuous basis. The search for a humane method of execution has produced a grotesque parade of innovations: electrocution, gas, lethal injection, each presented as more civilized than the last and each producing its own catalog of documented failures. Executioners in American states are often anonymous. In some states, multiple members of a team each press a button and only one button actually triggers the mechanism, so no single person can be certain they are the one who caused death. The state distributes the moral weight across multiple hands to make it bearable for any single pair of hand. It is the ancient communal stoning, updated for a bureaucratic age. The psychology has not changed in 4,000 years. The last guillotine execution in France takes place on September 10, 1977. The condemned is a Tunisian man named Hamida Jandoubi. The executioner is Marcel Chevalier. The execution takes place inside a prison, not publicly, before a small group of witnesses. France abolishes the death penalty 4 years later in 1981. Marcel Chevalier is the last person in the Western world to operate a guillotine in a judicial execution. He lives quietly in retirement. He rarely speaks about his work. In one of his few interviews, he says he slept well. He says he was doing his job. He says the responsibility belonged to the judges and the juries and the law, not to him. It is the same thing the carnifex of ancient Rome would have said. The same thing the daimios of Athens would have said. The same thing every executioner in recorded history has said to explain to himself how he continued to get up each morning and do what he did. The responsibility belongs to the law. I am only the instrument. This is the executioner's oldest and most necessary belief. Without it, the job cannot be done. With it, civilization, for better and for worse, continues. If you've enjoyed this journey through one of history's most overlooked and most human stories, please like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the people and forces that shaped our world from the shadows. And as always, we'll see you in the past.